Hari Om, my dear students, myself Acharya Yogeshwar. I am again present here with the classes of biology for class 9, and we have to study about the diversity in the living organisms. Today we shall study about how to study all living organisms. As we have studied, there are large number of and different kinds of organisms in this world. So it is not possible for a person to study all of them. It has been a matter of curiosity, and many scientists have studied about different types of living organisms, and now we know many things about them. If there is varieties of organisms and we have to study them, then we have to classify them. We have to make groups of different organisms on the basis of their similarities and differences. And scientists have done it. And as a result, a branch of biology has come into existence, and that is called taxonomy. Taxonomy. Taxonomy is a branch of biology. Taxonomy is the branch of biology in which we study about classification of all living organisms. When we classify all the organisms in different categories, in different groups, then if we study a single organism of that group, we will know many things about all those organisms. And this makes the study of diversity, the study of biodiversity easier. And as we classify them, these all living organisms, the process is called classification. Classification. Classification of organisms is the process of grouping organisms on the basis of their similarities and differences. So we shall have to study about the properties of the characteristic features of different living organisms, and then we would be able to classify them in different groups. The question arises, what are the basis of classification of these organisms? One thing that is clear, that the bases are similarities and differences. But in what respect? About what things of similarities and differences? So, the basis of classification the first thing is organization. Organization means structure. How organization is structure? All the living organisms in this world are well organized. As we have studied that cells are the basic unit of living organisms, it means all living organisms are made up of cells. What these cells are made up of? These cells are made up of molecules, and we know all the molecules are made up of atoms. So there is organization, that is atoms. Atoms make molecules, molecules make cells, and we have studied tissues. These tissues are made up of cells. These tissues make organ. Organs make organ system. And these organ systems make individual. It doesn't mean that all the individuals are made of organ systems. In fact, there are organisms, there are individuals made up of only cell and single cell. There are organisms which are made up of more than one cell, but they are not made up of tissue. That, for example, amoeba is made up of single cell, and the organisms of porifera are made up of many cells. There is an organism, hydra, that is made up of tissues. There are organisms in which organ systems and are found, as for example, there are worms, they have organs. There are birds, reptiles, mammals. These all are made up of organ systems. The plants, just like banyan tree, mango tree, plant of pea, these all are made up of organ systems. So there is an organization. If an organism is made up of a single cell, what is the structure of the cell? It is matter of organization. It is a matter of structure. If there is a hydra and it is made up of different types of tissues, what these tissues are made up of? How is the structure of hydra? It matters. How is the structure of our body? It is matter of organization and structure. The second thing, which is very important as a basis of classification, is the physiology or function. Physiology or function. How do the individual work? How do its different components do function? In fact, this is the second basis of classification in living organisms. These two things will be made more clear further when we will study these in detail. The third thing that should be noted is behavior. how do individuals treat, how do they behave. Actually, these three things are the basis of classification of all the living organisms. In the next period, we shall study how the living organisms are classified on the basis of these criteria. For that time, you shall study the term taxonomy, classification, organization, physiology or function, behavior, and I am writing a term that is called systematics. This is related to taxonomy, and you will find out the definition of the term systematics, and you will study your textbook where the basis of classification are given, and then you may ask any question. If you have any trouble, must ask your problem anytime. You can call me. My number is in your WhatsApp group. Thank you. Have a nice day.